Is Tim Tszyu ready for Errol Spence Jr.?
I think so. Why wouldn't it be?
Is Errol Spence Jr. ready for Tim Tszyu?
We shall see.
He cap on that. He know better than that.
What's cap?
I was gonna say, you know what that means?
Cap. I mean, you not telling the truth.
I'm bluffing. We shall see.
Nah, it ain't no we shall see. You know how I come. You know how.
I know what you're made of course. Well, I'm saying,
did.
when it comes to fight night, all the plans, as Mike Tyson once said, when you get here, all your plans change. So that's what it is. We shall see. I respect what you've done in your career, but you haven't had a fight in 3 years. How can I say that this?
You want to spar today?
Let's go.
I'm not that. I'm dead ass.
Yeah.
We can spar.
Yeah, let's go.
Come on.
I don't think y'all gonna get paid.
I ain't sure if I get paid. It's sparring.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get paid.
Hey, we're not gonna get paid.
It's not to spar.
What that mean?
You're not gonna get paid to spar this man.
You don't get paid to spar.
I know. So where does this fight take place? Middle of the ring?
We shall see.
It's funny. Sometimes you see a guy on TV. You never see a guy before you fight him. You know, before the weigh-in, before the press conference, that kind of stuff. Is this man everything you expected him to be? Physically, the way he's, the energy.
He's yeah.
Everything you
His
expect.
shiny white teeth.
Yeah. What about you and your shiny white teeth? Is this man everything you expected to see?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. He's sturdy. He looks strong.
Because I love what you. I know you. His thing is this fight's gonna last as long as it lasts. What do you say?
What you told me, bro?
Huh? That's what you say. You said the fight gonna last as long as it lasts. But you're saying I'm gonna knock you out, and if I don't knock you out, I'm gonna break you down and beat you. That's always been your thing.
Yeah.
So
Similar mindset for me as well.
we got a great fight ahead of us, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Any last words?
I don't really have any last words. I just tell them, just be ready, man. I'm looking forward to coming to Australia. I'm looking forward to fighting in front of your hometown fans. I'm looking forward to disappointing you and your fans back at home.
Good. Talk is cheap. Let my actions do the talking.
We shall see.
Two elite fighters meet face to face as Errol Spence Jr. and Tim Tszyu prepare for a career-defining showdown with pride, power, and everything at stake.
This train that just keeps going forward. Your style is similar in a lot of ways, and working with Jeff Fennick, I can only imagine that it's going to be even more. Kind of take me through the stylistic matchup here and how the fight's going to look.
Yeah, I think he's like very monotone. But he's very good at that.
Yeah.
And it drowns you.
Yeah.
He's got a very stiff jab, and the jab's very consistent. So I think that's probably going to be the hardest part. But yeah, this fight is going to be a relentless style for me. I'm looking to just bring the heat.
Yeah.
And let's see if he can match it.
Yeah. It sounds to me like, we got two trains on the same track. And you're good with that. And I've done this with you enough times. Like you're actually mentally, you're good with that. You got no thoughts at all on hey, maybe we should try moving around, stepping over. No. Yeah.
We're going straight in.
Yeah. This is you, right? But is any of this for the fans? Is any of this is the fight that fans want to see though? So that's what I'm going to give them, or is this just that's how I'm going to be?
Yeah, it's been a bit of both, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like stylistically, this is that everyone wants to see.
Yeah.
There's a fan-friendly type fight.
Errol Spence Jr. begins his comeback unfazed by the criticism, saying the negative talk only drives him harder and gives him more motivation to prove his doubters wrong.
I feel like I look better outside. I look better in the ring and not in the gym. I look good in the gym, but fight night, I look, it comes out.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that come fight night, I'm going to show everybody that, ring rust is not a thing. It's more of a mental thing more than anything.
Meanwhile, Tim Tszyu vows to go after Spence from the opening bell, saying he has been waiting for this opportunity for nearly 5 years.
Man, I really don't care. I mean, I'm excited. I dream about stuff like this, man. You know, it kind of give me chills now coming out and everybody booing. They get me more pumped up than anything. People booing, throwing stuff, you know, angry. That really takes the nervousness out of me. It's like, I'm not nervous anymore. Like, people booing and saying things and yelling and screaming. That's like the movies we used to watch as kids, old Spartan movies and stuff. Like, you going into, you know, you going to war. So, you know, it gives me a high. I'm definitely happy, and I'm excited to come out and just, you know, get the fans' negative reactions and feed off of it.
The tension between the fighters grew when Spence called Tszyu cute for believing he belonged among the elite, while Tszyu booed him for refusing to shake hands.
Take us through fight night. What do you think fight night's gonna look like? If you could paint this perfect picture of how this fight goes.
I want to come in red hot. No feel out this time around. Just come in red hot, and I want to go in and really just go for his head straight away.
That's what you want. Is that also what Jeff wants?
I don't know. I haven't
talked about that yet.
To him.
Okay, well, let's hope that that's what Jeff wants. That way, there's no, you know, we don't see him, you know.
Yeah.
Sean Porter's in the corner on fight night because Jeff, you know.
Afterwards, Spence responded to Tszyu for reacting to his comments, insisting he belongs among the elite while saying Tszyu is still one level below. The rivalry quickly turned personal, but Spence stayed composed, shaking his hand while making it clear that respect can come after the fight, not before the opening bell.
I think it's cute, but I mean that ain't what that is. This is Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu. He's no caliber of his fighter. I mean of his daddy. So he can't even compare himself to his pops. He fighting me, he trying to get out of his daddy's shadow. So we'll see come July 26th, can he get out that shadow?
How do you respond to that, Tim?
It's alright. He likes to talk it up as well. Look, I'm a very respectful guy. I came up to him before, tried to shake his hand, and he just walked past me like a disrespectful fuck. And that just shows the type of person he is, and that's alright, you know. Now he's out here.
As for Tim Tszyu, he believes he has changed since his last fight and is ready to make the biggest statement of his career against Spence. He promises to be the man who not only beats him, but also forces him to retire from boxing. Tszyu sends a clear message that time is running out and Spence should be ready for what is coming.
Realistically, he's just a hard fighter.
Yeah. So, any message to Errol Spence? Because that's a fight everyone wants. I saw Ring Magazine put that out on Instagram. That's what people want. Any direct message to Errol?
Yeah, just the time is ticking. Father time is slowly coming for him. Retirement is coming up, and what a pleasure for me to be able to be the man to be able to do that.
Giving Tszyu a serious warning, legendary analyst Tim Bradley shares his view of the matchup. He believes Spence is coming for a knockout and says Tsyu's talk is all about proving his mental toughness. However, Bradley warns the outcome could be far more damaging. According to him, Tszyu may not be physically ready and has already absorbed too much punishment during his career.
I think Errol Spence, I think he gonna beat Tim Tszyu. He gonna knock him out. Tim Tszyu is done. He 31 and he done. Too much wear and tear. He got his ass knocked out a couple of times. You know, mentally, he's seems like he's strong mentally, right? And he wanted, but his body is not out. It's not responding. You know, like it should be. You know, a lot of big knockouts and wars for Tim Tszyu, man. He get hit too much, you know, and that's what happens when you get hit too much. Shit, your time, hey, is up real fast. Yeah, your career is shortened like a mug. So I got Errol Spence in that fight, but it's good to see Errol back, man.
Excited about Spence's return, Bradley questions whether Tszyu has the chin to handle his power, pressure, and punching ability. He believes that apart from the Crawford loss, Spence has remained an elite fighter who knows exactly how to finish the job. On the other hand, he feels Tszyu does not have the same qualities and attributes. No matter the situation, Spence remains a true champion capable of beating him.
I got Earl. Earl gonna stop his ass. Earl gonna stop your ass, Tim Tszyu. Yeah. The battle of the veterans. That's it, man. Earl is a vet. He's a damn vet, man. He been through a lot too. He only got stopped one fight. I mean, as far as, in the ring, not a whole lot of traumatic experience besides that Crawford one, but he took the right appropriate time off. That car accident, that's a big thing. That alcohol definitely is a big thing, but shit, other than that, I think he might be better off. I think he might be better off than Tim Tszyu right now. Tim Tszyu just ain't clicking. And everybody got his damn numbers. Punch with his ass. He can't take it on the chin.
Another major update is making headlines as Spence's former trainer, Derek James, reveals that Spence entered the Crawford fight with a broken rib and was unable to spar for weeks. Gervonta Davis's coach, Kenny Ellis, also reflects on the situation, saying they noticed something was wrong during the weigh-in and believes there could be truth behind James' claim regarding Spence. He believes Spence will completely dismantle Tszyu.
Let me go back to the Terrence fight. Me and Calvin was in Vegas, and we was at the weigh-in. And I told Calvin, man, something ain't right. Errol don't look right. He was walking with a slight limp, like he was holding back some pain, so it might be some, some truth to that rib injury. I was like, man, he don't look like himself, the way he was walking, But he took the fight, But as far as the Tim Tszyu fight, I think Earl gonna walk through him. I don't want to see him fight again, but if he's gonna fight, I think he'll beat Tim Tszyu.
Furthermore, Ellis also responds to the criticism Spence has directed at Tszyu. According to him, Tszyu constantly mentions his father's name, but he believes he is nowhere close to reaching his father's level. Ellis expects Spence to stop Tszyu within 7 or 8 rounds. Although he wishes Spence had remained retired, he still respects his decision to return.
I don't see Tim Tszyu like you think of his dad. They keep pushing him because they're thinking of his dad. He ain't nothing like his dad,
Yeah.
They keep pushing him, but he's not his dad.
You see Spence stopping him?
Yeah. Inside 7, 8.
Do you feel like the Charlo fight will be next because of all that tension they got?
Possibility. I don't want to see that fight though. I wish Earl would stay retired, man.
But despite all of that, concerns surrounding Spence still remain. Ellis believes the car accident and its aftermath, which Spence is still recovering from, could impact him going forward. He says every fighter comes with some concerns, but Spence's situation is different and more serious because of everything he has gone through before returning to the ring.
He's one of my favorite fighters just because of that. That's gonna always be that accident, the head injuries, losing his teeth, and I hear he got other stuff going on in his face. I don't know how true it is, but I don't want to see him get hurt,
Yeah, it would be tough. It would be tough on the sport as well.
And then everybody be like, "Oh shit, it's the commissioner's fault. Oh man, they shouldn't have let him." Shit, crazy. I like Earl, man. I don't want to see him get hurt. I don't want to see no fighter get hurt, but his situation,
Paulie Malignaggi joins the discussion, saying the timing of this fight is far from straightforward. He explains that while Tszyu has stayed active, Spence has been out of the ring, raising questions about his punch resistance and which version of him will show up. Although Tszyu is being overlooked because of his recent performances, Paulie believes the situation is much more complex than people think.
Super impressive, but he's been winning. He got the rounds, so you at least know what you're getting. Spence, you really don't know what you're getting. You're just assuming what you're gonna get.
Do we know how much Errol's been training over the last 3 years? Any idea?
I don't know. I know he's been training probably the last 6 months. I remember seeing a video on social media when he first got back in the gym. He was doing some pad work and some mitt work or whatever, you want to call it. But I think that if he had been active prior to that, he would have seen some footage of him training. We haven't.
And do you know, so Errol before has taken long layoffs before. I think he had about 1.5 years off.
Paulie's argument is simple, questioning how Spence can be evaluated when there is little or no training footage available. Speaking about Tszyu, he admits his recent performances have raised doubts about his credibility, but points out that Tszyu is still active and has wins to his name. However, the biggest question is which version of Spence will actually show up.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see a different version of Errol Spence. And I feel like he's going to be better than he was in the past. And what I mean by that is, first round knockout coming soon. And Tim Tszyu is going to sleep, man. The boy ain't got nothing for him. What dude from Australia? My boy, he coming to Australia just to give him the work, you feel me? But back to what I was saying, I just feel like Errol Spence, he's going to be a great fighter. He's doing the thing I seen him in camp. And hell of a fighter.
Meanwhile, Brian Norman Jr., who has been part of Spence's training camp, speaks about how camp has been going. He says Spence looks sharp, focused, and ready for the challenge ahead. Based on what he has seen, Norman predicts a knockout victory, believing Tszyu will be put to sleep much earlier than many fans expect.
Is it a good fight? Yes. But the question marks surrounding him are there. And, because he's been so absent from the sport, he's been inactive. He is coming off, that really bad loss to Terrence Crawford. How much is really left in the tank? Only him and his team will really know at this point. How is he going to react to punches on fight night? We're never going to know. But honestly, Tszyu is coming off a really bad run himself. So I do actually think it's a good matchup in terms of timelines, their timelines crossing. It makes sense. It's not like we're throwing Errol right into Virgil Ortiz. Right. That I would be very concerned about and really wouldn't want to see.
Concerns continue to surround this matchup, and Chris Algieri has now shared his opinion. He believes the question should apply to both fighters. If Spence faces doubts because of his time away, then Tszyu deserves the same scrutiny. Algieri says Tszyu has not looked his best recently, making the fight more even. He adds that he would have opposed it if Spence had been facing Virgil Ortiz instead.
Errol is Mr. I don't do tune-ups, and he's coming off a long way. I don't think so. I think, you're going to deal with ring rust because, I think of Errol at his best is when he was really busy and fighting often, and he had a style that was, he was in and out. You saw some of that, his amateur pedigree. The way he fought me and Mikey Garcia, he fought very, very smart. He didn't take unnecessary damage. But later on in his career, you saw him, he was a little more flat-footed. He was more willing to engage. It was way more fun to watch, but that's not made for longevity, And when you're not fighting as often, your timing's a little off. You get hit with big punches early on, and getting hit with big shots, I don't care who you are. It adds.
While many have praised Spence for skipping a tune-up fight, Algieri disagrees with that decision. He believes going straight into a dangerous matchup brings major risks. Looking back at Spence's fights with him and Mikey Garcia, he says Spence was once at his best, but gradually began showing signs of decline. Algieri warns that if Spence overlooks ring rust, he could be making a costly mistake.
Because of the car accident?
The car accidents are always a question, because that was major, man. If you lose consciousness and you knock out teeth, obviously you're also your body. And there was a second car accident too that a lot of people forgot about. He actually called off a fight because of that. He pushed off a fight date because his body wasn't right. That's not a good sign. It was never a good sign. That always concerned me. So you got to expect that had something to do with it, just in general. The way his career was starting to end up. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could have been an entertainment thing because he was wildly popular and people like guys who are going to stand and bang. I don't know. I really couldn't put my finger on it.
Another major concern Algieri points out is Spence becoming flat-footed later in his career, which he believes may be connected to his car accidents. He notes that Spence has survived not one but 2 serious crashes and believes the impact has affected his performances, movement, and overall stamina. According to Algieri, those physical issues could play a key role in how Spence performs against Tszyu.
This guy's been losing. Tszyu's been losing, but at least he's been active, At least he's been active. Spence hasn't been seen anywhere in boxing, in the ring, wise.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think losing to Crawford like that, then taking the layoff like that, and then getting the car accidents, these things are bigger losses than just the losses that Tszyu had, you know? I favor Tszyu in the fight. I won't be surprised if Spence knocks him out or win. I mean, Spence is still one of the top dogs, you know? You can never take that away from him, you know? But it's just too much of a layoff, you know? That's way too much of a layoff for anybody in anything, you know? You just can't expect to come back into the ring and be that guy who you were before.
For nearly every fighter, the same concern has followed Spence. Many do not understand why he is returning straight into a tough fight against an active opponent without taking a tune-up bout. Some believe Spence is simply different and willing to take that risk, while Spence insists ring rust is not a factor and plans to prove it. Sebastian Fundora believes he has fewer chances, but admits anything can happen.
So tune-up fights are important then?
Absolutely, absolutely. You need to see where you're at. How are you gonna come out? But then, you know, there's people like a Pacquiao that just don't need it at all. They just special. You get the special people, a Bernard Hopkins or George Foreman. They just come out of nowhere and they're like, you know what? I remember how to do this. So I guess it just depends on the person. Maybe Spence is one of those guys, but usually it's not that.
Then renowned trainer Bozienis steps in, saying many people are overlooking Spence. He calls him one of the fighters with an old school style and says the biggest advantage is his move to a new trainer. With Ronnie Shields in his corner, Ennis believes Spence will perform better than expected and prove the doubters wrong through his performance.
A good fight, man. Everybody just sleeping on my man Spence, man. I think Spence gonna do what he's supposed to do, man. And then he fighting a guy that can really fight. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, you know, he's a good boxer, nothing else, but he comes to fight. You know what I mean? So this is gonna be a good test for Spence, I think. And I think Spence gonna do well.
Now he's with a new trainer. He left Derek, and now he's with Ronnie too.
Ronnie, he was one of the best trainers in the world. You know what I mean? Old school. He like me, old school trainer.
What's the difference between old school and new school training?
Old school, they go back. You know what I mean? We do like all the old stuff. You know what I mean? All that strength and conditioning, that's cool, but you got to go. You got to know how far to go with that strength and conditioning.
But not everyone agrees. Brian Bomack McIntyre, Terrence Crawford's trainer, shares his opinion, saying the biggest question is how Spence shows up on fight night. He believes facing Tim is far from easy. However, if Errol comes in at his best with the right game plan, he has the ability to push Tim to the limit and earn the victory.
If Errol gonna be himself, he should win. But we don't know what he got left.
Yeah.
So, but if Tim come in and be himself, he'll push Errol to the edge.
So you think that's like a true 50-50 fight, like a crossroad fight for both those guys?
No, I don't think so. I think Errol probably will.
Think Errol?
Yeah, I think he.
Can Spence silence the doubters and prove he still has what it takes? Or will Tszyu pull off the biggest upset of his career? The answer will come inside the ring. Leave your prediction below. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more boxing updates, analysis, and the latest fight stories.